The another category of attack is a botnet. So this video is totally dedicated for the botnet. Botnet is, we can understand like that, an attacker can bombard a millions of requests in a particular second, in a particular timeline. So our server is most of the time busy to deal with these fake requests. So the legitimate user cannot get the service. For example, in a banking website, if you are looking to perform any transaction, and at the same time an hacker can bombard millions of requests to the bank server. So server doesn't know which one is a fake and which one is a real one or legitimate. So your server is busy to reply the fake and bogus requests, and you will never get the service. So maybe at that particular time you are not able to perform transactions. So maybe you lost some financial things, some financial deals. So that is a kind of attack which comes under the category of botnet.
Botnet is just the term that is bot. Bot has come from the robot. So basically, that means the things that person or the machine is doing automatically. The automated process is known as a bot. Now these days, various bots are in the discussion. People are talking about the bots. Some bots are good, some bots are bad. Initially, the bots is created for the good things only. For example, the gaming bot, the machine that perform the automatic gaming for the one person, the AI-based bots like to play chess. Okay, that type of thing happen. But slowly, the bad guys or the adversaries use that bot for their own purpose. So bot is just a program that will do the things automatically and repeatedly. So nobody intervene or nobody instruct the bot to do that. Once you program the things, leave that bot into the environment and it will perform the things. For example, and now these days people are talking about the robotics. So robotics is again a kind of bot. We instruct the robot to do, okay, you have to go in a straight line and do that particular things. That is a thing. So bot is a very common general thing. But if you use that thing for the malicious purpose, for the wrong way, in a wrong way, so that will destruct all the things, and it is not good for the environment also. But people are using that bot for that particular purpose. So as we think and look about the bots, where they started and what the things are going on. So in the beginning, the bots are using for the googling the things, filling the automatic forms, game bots, driving the some kids car, automatic driving of a kids car. Now these days, if you learn some news came like that, the hotel is using a automatic robot to serve the customers. These are the good news about the bot. But in a later part, the bad people thought of creating a bad bot so that they may earn something from the bot. They can steal something from the bot. So they can send a spam or phishing mail. If you click on that email, so that will control your other species that we see in the malware sector already. So the bot, they can launch attack onto the server. Suppose I want to go to my bank and I wanted to perform some net banking, but some server or machine is continuously pinging to that machine, the bank server. So bank server is busy to reply that particular person, and other clients are not able to perform any kind of transactions over there. That thing happened. This is called the DDoS attack or the DOS attack, denial of service. If it is coming from distributed source, then it is a distributed DOS attack. Basically, this is called the denial of service. That means your server is not able to respond to you. Mostly people, in the attacking field, people are using bots for the DOS kind of thing. DOS, DDoS. There are various varieties also available that we discuss in the later on in the class. But first we have to understand the purposes of bot and how people will mismanage this bot. So people are creating many mismanaged or the malicious bots like the SD bot, Echo bot, Pet bot, etc. So basically botnet starts to emerge various things. That means if there are several cases happen through the bot, the wrong cases where policemen caught the person who created the bot and sent them to the jail. That thing also happened. The very first bot is the Excel game. That is the Ago bot. Basically, we can say the Ago bot or Polybot. It is created by a 21 years old. This is the case of 1 year about some years ago, and 21-year-old guy, and he's arrested from Germany in 2004 because he's trying to misuse that bot and sabotage the law of Germany. Another case that came into the news, that the Jeffrey person, he is a 18-year-old guy, and he released the variation of blaster bombs. He tried to spread the bombs through the bots. He already infected 48,000 computers worldwide. So he is arrested and he sanctioned for 18 months and 3 years supervised jail, supervised release. That means they all caught later on, but in the beginning they tried to destruct the world and company. The major aim or the main aim of to create the bot is to earn money. All malicious activities happening due to this money factor. They want to learn something. They want to earn money from the shortcuts. Later on, they will be caught and go to the jail. But at the meantime, they infected the world, the entire system, everything. So first, we see how the botnet grows. Okay. So the botnet is coming from the botmaster system. Botmaster is the person who create the bot. Okay. And botmaster infect victim with bot. There are various things happen. Okay, so botmaster will send the infected bot to victim's machine and send some bomb or some any malware with the bot. Maybe sometime to seek the system configuration, sometimes seek the permissions, or just for the testing what they can do and perform. Then this thing will move to the CNC, that means centralized command server. Okay, so botnet connect to the central command line server and could be done using, it can be done using the HTTP and IRC or any other protocol which are available. Most commonly used protocols are the HTTP and IRC. Okay. Then once it has a connection, then the botmaster send a communication through the CNC server to bot. That means victim machines send a request to server, server will agree, so the malicious things come to the server and botmaster have a control over their server. Then he can manage the things from the server and try to respond the things, and it will infect all the clients those who are connected with the server. So those who are connected, they all are become the victim. So one machine can destruct whole and network. If your machine have a vulnerability, you can destruct all the system, you can destroy the whole network, everything, that bad thing that you want, you can do. That is the purpose of the botnet from the adversary side. So we have a two category of bot, that is the benign bot and the malicious bot. Benign bots are there doing the good things, malicious bots are performing the bad things. Okay, so whenever the bot is trying to be execute, it has to be recruit new machine. So how the bot will recruit a new machine or find a new machine? So first of all, the botmaster or the bot is try to exploit the vulnerability, execute a short program. That means try to exploit on victim machine whether some vulnerability is available there or not. Okay, if they found exploits, that means they can found buffer overflow, or they can go with the email viruses, trojans, anything they can try, all the possible ways, and they download the exploit and install the actual bot. Once they found that okay, the vulnerability is there, they can deploy a bot on that particular machine. So the very first job the bot can do is disable the firewall and any antivirus software that is available in your machine, and try to locate the IRC server and connects and join. So typically it needs a DNS to find the server IP address, because once your machine connected to the server through the DNS packet, anyone can figure out the IP address of the server. And they try to figure out the authentication password, which are stored in somewhere in a server, and the bot master issues the command and figure out the things, and they have one machine in their control. Okay, to see the life cycle or the recruiting machine cycle. So very first the bot perform the exploit in a victim machine and download the bot, then go for the DNS lookup, try to figure out the DNS server, that means the IP and everything of the server. Then they use the IRC, they try to connect with the IRC server, join that system, and bot master will release the command over the IRC server. So once they have a control over the IRC server, they can release the command throughout the internet. So all machines, those who are belongs to that network, they will all get infected. That is the flow of a recruiting a machine into the bot. So what is it used for? So botnet is mainly used for only one thing that I already told you, the money. Okay. How they are used? So there are various ways to use. One is a distributed denial of service. That is called the Ddos attack. That means there is no one server or one single source from the bot. There are multiple systems or multiple sources for the bot. So the identification of the bot is difficult rather than a centralized machine. Through the bot, people can send the spam. They perform the phishing attack. They send the adware, spyware, and storing some pirated material in your machine. They can perform any kind of thing. So if they perform that type of thing, so it is definitely dangerous for anyone, right? So there are various common bots are available. First we see some of the bots like the SD bot. SD bot is a open source malware. Okay. If we see there is a one website like the virustotal.com. You can visit that website and figure out the content, the material about some malicious activity. This bot is also known as a IRC-SD bot. The McAfee refer it as a IRC-SD bot. Semantic refer it as a backdoor.sd bot. The way basically it is spreading through the network share and try to connect using the password guessing. This is try to exploit weak password, use the dictionary attack kind of thing and figure out the password. And once it is come to the machine, sign of compromises. So SD bot copies itself into the system folder, known as a file name. Any file name like am95.exe, sys cfg32. They file look like a system files, so people are not going to delete that type of file. It's basically malicious file. So the very first job that they perform, they modify the registry entries and they make themselves strong over there. Okay, and additionally they increase the unexpected traffic on a port numbers 6667 or the 7000. Okay, there are various known factors are available. This is a very old bot. You can figure out the information related to this bot very much easily. Okay, this is known as a IRC channel. Another kind of bot was the R bot. This belongs to the encryption family. That means they will encrypt something in your machine and they ask for the money something. Okay, it is also known as W32 or SD bot worm. JNG Semantic says that w32.sdbot.com. If you want to read more about it, you can just go visit to the virustutorial.com and you will figure out. And it is again the network-based protocol that's spread through the network and it's tried to exploit the weak password and known vulnerabilities in a window like a kind of buffer overflow vulnerability. It copies itself to the system folder, okay, with some name which is look like a machine's name, like wamgrd.exe and some random name. Modify the registry entry, and it tried to terminate the antivirus process, and it generate the unexpected traffic to the 113 or other open port. Whatever port it will found open, it will try to hit on that particular port. Whenever bot is coming, definitely unexpected traffic is executed because bots are performing things continuously. Ago bot, a very famous bot, it has a modular functionality. Rather than infecting a system at once, it proceeds through 3 stages. First is infect a client with the bot and open a backdoor. Okay, that means it is open a backdoor for the others vulnerability and malware, and it is come to the client. It will shut down the antivirus tool and block the access to antivirus and secure related sites. It will block all the security things. It will close the door for all security things. After successful completion of one stage, the code for the next stage is downloaded. Once first stage is completed, it means none of the security tools should come. There is an open backdoor is there. So what next? The malware come from that backdoor only and infect your machine. Nobody can stop. Since there is a backdoor, so the developer can update or modify one portion of module without having to recompile and rewrite it. That's why developer leave that backdoors to modify the machine. Agobot use that vulnerability. Agobot is also known as a w32govbot.com, semantic w32.hllw.govbot.gen. It is basically network. It is infected through the network. The basic task is a password guessing. It uses a P2P system like Casa, etc. and it uses the base protocol. So that is a one more thing that we have to understand, that the bot is using P2P system. P2P system is bot, that means peer-to-peer. That means there is a connection of various systems and they are traveling through the peer-to-peer network. So anytime a system can join and release from their peers, and all peers have rights to spread the things. So if you come into the system, they will use basically some time back peer-to-peer system. Now these are also peer-to-peer is very much famous and common for the network support. Even your blockchain uses the P2P network. Even your Netflix and they are providing content-based support, na. So in the beginning days they use P2P. Right now they switch something else, but P2P is very much common. Even when the Skype is started, it uses the P2P machine, P2P network to perform the things. That is a very common and famous network to perform the things effectively and faster way. Okay, it is known as the SBS host.exe system merge.exe. The common name that systems are doing. All the bots perform the modification in the registry and try to terminate the antivirus process. So once that thing is happened, so they will update the sites. They will send the server that is server to localhost, so you can't connect with the others. So basically, Agobot is for stealing the information. It will seek and steal the keys of your popular game. Okay, and definitely the traffic will increase. They use the IRC server. They are scanning the Windows machine, SQL server, in the whole machine, whole your system, and try to figure out something important for them. most common thing that associated with DOS, the botnet is a DOS attack. And so now these days it is called the DDoS attack because it comes in a distributed manner. If it is coming from one machine, so people can easily identify one IP is hitting several times and giving so many things to the machine, so the antivirus will stop them. But it's come from distributed source, so it is difficult to understand whether the source is a one machine or the multiple machine. Okay, so the goal is to overblame victim machine and deny service to its legitimate client. That means your server is not able to perform any task. So the DOS never exploit the network protocol. They are just sending threads continuously. The Smurf is a one kind of activity. Smurf, you can perform the smurfing. Basically, Smurf will release the ICMP protocol through the ICMP protocol layer 2 things, and echo request the broadcast address with spoofed victim's address as a source. And the ICMP packets with payload greater than 64 crash shoulder version. So ping of death. So they are continuously pinging. So your network is always busy. That's a kind of SYN flood. Basically, you can say the SYN flood. That means SYN we are using to open TCP connection request from the spoofed address. And UDP flooding is also, if you talk about the terms of UDP, so it will exhaust the bandwidth by sending thousands of bugs UDP packets, bogus UDP packet to the client. That means they are sending continuously traffic. Once, for example, if you are going into the road, but suddenly one rally is coming, then after another rally and a fourth rally, first rally, something is going on. So you can't walk, even you can't go move from one place to another place because there is so much traffic in the road. That thing happened through the DOS attack. That means various rallies are coming, so you can't do anything. So that is a major threat or major thing that adversaries do easily, and we have to be checked whether this is attack or not. If it's an attack, so we have to take some precautionary measure. That means the server or the firewall should verify whether it's an attack, and they will block these IPs, those who are performing the attack. That means they didn't allow them. So whenever the DOS attack starts, so if you see, let's suppose this is the victim is our server, and the attacker is in the distributed denial of service. So they create a master machines like the IRC servers, and each server have some zombie machines. The job of zombie machine is to just send the thread. They are doing nothing. They simply send the thread. So if a particular time several threads are coming, several messages are coming into the server is busy to respond with them. Server can't do anything because these zombies attacks over there. So that your server is not able to perform or reply to the authentic user. That is known as a DOS attack or the DDoS attack. Okay. So why DOS attacks happen? What is the profit? So the attackers basically try to shut down the machine. If you want to avoid that thing, you have to pay them, so they will stop the bot and allow you to work. Sometimes happen we try to log into the machine, but machine is not up because that thing has happened, like the Facebook. If your Facebook account is, if somebody is targeting your machine, once you start the work and you open your machine and through the internet is connected, some 1,000 lakhs and more than that bots are coming in your machine, so you are not able to do any web surfing over there. Your machine is jammed. So they will ask you the money. If you give the money, then they will avoid. So there are various solutions for that one also, because this is DOS attack is not a new one. It's a very old technology. So now these days they will try to figure out the bots IPs, and firewall try to block them. But if you see into the internet, so every year more than thousands of bots are coming. Some are very famous, those who are performing the attack, like the Mozi, Mirai. Right now Mozi attack is there. In 2019-20 it started. Mirai was in 2014-15. They damage all the IoT networks and everything. So there are a lot of varieties coming every year, and there is a continuous modification over there. So to identification of a DOS attack is difficult now these days if they are trying to new things. But that is a challenge. That is a research challenge. Things are happening. So you can take, if you want to give a seminar on this topic, you can take one recent attack paper and give one demonstration seminar over there. Okay. So the botnet detection, if you botnet is there, so that some botnet detection is also there. So botnet detection perform in a various way. Most common is a honeypot and honeynet. So basically, what happened with the honeynet? Honeynet is a kind of fake system. Okay, that is not a real system. So the security person or the white hat guys deploy one honeypot, that means a machine, into one computer system using one public IP. So honeypot is spreading tokens, okay, and that token will interact the adversaries. So adversaries are attracting through the, because botnet is always targeting the financial things. If they said, okay, I have a credit card number, etc. So the botnet is coming. So attacker will come into the machine, perform the attack over the machine, and this honeypot will allow the attackers to perform the attack. It will never resist. Okay. Once the attacker perform his task, when an attacker go back, the honeypot will restructure themselves in the previous state, and the log file that he created during the attack, that means that is kind of a videography while the attack is happening. So later on they will use that video to identify the purpose, method of the attack, and once we identify, then we'll set some rules in the firewall for the real system. So nobody can attack into the real system. The honeypot is an important one. So you can take honeypot as the seminar topic. That is again a fine. Okay, and you have to perform some self-study over the honeynet because it is an important one. Some host-based detections also happen. That means in a host machine we can figure out the category of attack, type of attack. IDS is a kind of system that is mostly uses now these days, along with the firewall. That is called intrusion detection system. They will figure out what are the malicious activities happen, and you can verify. It will block the IPs to come in your machine, and you can easily verify these IPs with the virusrotor.com. Anomaly detection is a kind of method. That means if anomalies happen, something wrong is happening in your database or network, you can figure out and go with that. IRC nicknames is also used. That means you give the unique name. If something other than is coming, then you can block that thing. So there are various ways to stop the botnet. So in a host-based detection, what happened basically? The bias scanning is performed. That means we are talking about an individual machine. The thing is happening in a person's machine. So first it will scan the virus, watching for the symptoms. If the machine is infected, so it will definitely perform some immature behavior. For example, modification on Windows host file, random unexplained pop-ups are coming, some machines going to be slow, antivirus not working, some kind of thing should happen. And to detect the bot attack, we can also watch for the suspicious network traffic. If network traffic is increased suddenly at particular point, then we know that okay, some kind of attack is happening. Because IRC is not commonly used, IRC traffic is suspicious because it's a special kind of traffic. So once IRC activity is happening and some more pings are coming, then we can identify okay, something is happening wrong. So check if the host is trying to communicate to command and control center, because that server is not generally called by the user. So we can see the firewall logs and denied connection, etc. We can figure out and verify the host-based detection. Now we talk about the network intrusion detection system. For example, snort or bro. Snorting is the thing that we are trying to monitor the network. So sniff network packets, look for a specific pattern that is for the signature basically. If the pattern matches that on malicious binary, they block the traffic and raise the alert. That means we have some available binaries, those are malicious already available. For example, as I told you, virustotal.com. So we can verify our IPs and net things with the virustotal.com. If virustotal.com says it is a virus or the malware, we simply stop that file and ask the user to resubmit with a new file because that file contains viruses. Okay, so the system can effectively detect the virus bombs having known signature. Can't detect any malware whose signature is unknown. Nobody knows the unknown thing, na? Because this network device needs some database to verify it. Another category is anomaly detection. That means something uncommon should be happening to the system, because the normal traffic have some pattern. They use the fixed kind of bandwidth, port, byte level characteristic, protocols, analysis. So we can collect and generate various statics, and we learn the traffic pattern, then detect the anomaly in that pattern. For example, SNMP, net flow, etc., etc. Okay, so another category is a IRC nickname. That means bot uses the weird nicknames, but they have a certain pattern. They use something. If we can learn that pattern, we can detect bots and botnet easily. For example, if you see the USA and one number, one number, so the random number is about 9 digits. Our bot is using something bot type, machine type, random number. So, but it is difficult to check the number and figure out the things. Honeypot, as I told you, honeypot is a vulnerable machine ready to be attacked. Example: unpatched Windows 2000, Windows XP. Once attacked, the malware is caught inside. The malware is analyzed. Its activity is monitored. When it connects to the CNC server, the server's identity is revealed. Thus, many information about the bot is obtained, like the server address, master command, channel, nickname, password. Now do the following. You can do the thing. You can make a bot, fake bot, join the same IRC channel with the same nickname, password. Monitor who else are in the channel. Thus, browser and botnet collect statics. How many bots are there? Collect sensitive information, who is being attacked, when, etc. Finally, take down the botnet, honeynet, a network of honeypot. You can see this honeynet project. Very effective work in many cases. They are also pose great security risk if not maintained properly. Hacker may use them to attack others. So must be monitored cautioners with the cautions. Okay, if you are not following the caution, if you are not doing the things correctly, it is too difficult.